What's up, guys? My name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel where we talk about money and mindset as well as my family's own journey to pay off six-figure debt. So if you like videos like that, then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Today we are doing our March 2022 net worth update. Every single month on my channel, I update you guys on where we are at for our net worth and break down all the numbers. I find net worth tracking to be really motivating while we're paying off debt because it not only tracks how much debt we've paid off in the month, but also how much our assets have increased. And asset increases are affected by a couple things. One's in our control and the other's out of our control. One is how much we, put towards increasing our assets, like retirement contributions, and the other factor is what the market is doing. So what the housing market is doing because we do own a home, and what the stock market is doing because our retirement accounts and other investments are invested in the stock market. And so depending on what the market's done that month, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes it stays the same. But I really enjoy tracking it, and I know that over the long term our investments will go up because that's what the stock market has done for the last 100 years. If you want to track your own net worth yourself, there are two ways that I do it that I'd recommend you do, and they are both free. One is by using this spreadsheet. I actually give it to you guys for free, and that is linked in the video description if you want to download it for yourself to track your own net worth. And the other way that I track my net worth is through Personal Capital, which is an app that you can connect all of your accounts, and it will automatically update and calculate your net worth every single day. It'll update it. It'll pull data from all your accounts and let you know what all your balances are. So actually, when I'm updating my own spreadsheet, I just go to Personal Capital and pull all my numbers from there because it's easier than having to go to each individual account and log in and figure out what all the balances are. I also really like Personal Capital because they have a lot of cool features where it'll analyze your finances, it'll analyze your investments, tell you if you're paying above average fees for the things you're invested in, if you have enough in your emergency fund, different things like that. So if you want to check out Personal Capital, that will be linked in the video description as well. Let's take a look at our net worth. Net worth, if you're not familiar, is calculated by taking the total of all of your assets, everything you own, and subtracting all your liabilities, everything that you owe. And I got a question last week actually asking me, how can we have a positive net worth if we have a mortgage on our home? So when you are looking at net worth, you have to not just look at the liabilities, but the assets. So our home is worth $470,000, but our mortgage is only $300,000. So when we sell our home, which we're planning to do sometime in the next year or so, we will actually get a bunch of cash from that sale unless the price drops drastically between now and then, which is always possible, but I think unlikely to drop by that much. So with a house worth $470 and a mortgage at $300, if we sold it today, we would get about $170,000 in cash. So just because you have debt doesn't mean that you can't have a positive net worth. You have to take into account the value of all of your assets as well. So let's start off by looking at our assets. First of all, our home, at the beginning of the month, it was worth $465,000. According to Zillow, it went up by another like $7,000 to $10,000. I can't remember exactly. So it's at $470,000. This is a very conservative number. Zillow actually says it's worth over $500,000, and so does Redfin. But what I've done here is tried to be conservative and also take into account fees that occur when you sell a home, so I can have a more accurate picture of like what we would actually get if we were to sell. So that was a change of $5,000 this month. Next, for emergency fund and sinking funds, we started out with $11,331 and we ended with $9,450. So that was a decrease of $1,881. I talked about this in my March budget with me, but our sinking funds are looking sad and we really want to get them back into good shape because we've just had a lot of big expenses lately. I think, a lot of people have commented on my videos that I've talked about this, that we're all feeling the effects of inflation right now. And so as much as I love debt payoff and I just am so motivated to get our student loans paid off, at the same time, I know that there are ebbs and flows with finances, and right now we need to focus more on getting our sinking funds built back up. So hopefully the net change next month with this number will be a positive, or at least be zero. It won't be be a negative number, but I think it will be a positive number. I'm hoping. Next, for my husband's retirement accounts, they went from $55,462 to $59,159, and that was an increase of $3,697. So the stock market did go up in the month of March, and so that change was the impact of our own contributions to his retirement account, and then also the stock market increasing. For my retirement accounts, I started out with $23,364 and ended with $23,865, so that was an increase of $501. I did not contribute anything to my retirement accounts this month, so that was all just market gains, which is always nice to see. You know, that can get erased in a day, and it can go up by a lot more than that in a month, but anytime you see that you've earned money that you didn't have to go out and do any work for, it's a good feeling. Next, my brokerage accounts. I started out with just over $6,000 and I ended with $6,285, so that was an increase of $253. And actually, I have a breakdown down here. I talk about these accounts every month. I invest in 3 different brokerage accounts. So I've got Fidelity, that went from $1,008 to $1,040. M1 Finance, they went from $43.27 to $45.17, and that was a change of $190. For M1 Finance, they do have a referral bonus for signing up. It was $50 for a very long time, about 5 months, and now they dropped it down to $10. So it's not as exciting to get that referral bonus if you sign up for an account, but if you do want to invest along with me, I do have that link in the video description if you want to sign up for an M1 Finance account. And then also for Acorns, if you want to open an Acorns account, Acorns is very, very user-friendly, very simple, very little options for what you have to choose for investing. So if you are just brand new to investing, I feel like it's a great account to get started with. So that started out at $614, went up to $634, which was a change of $20. $15 of that was market gains, and then I think I got a $5 referral bonus. So if you guys sign up using my link, which is also in the video description, you get $5 and I get $5. And finally, Coinbase. I don't put any of my own money into it at this point, but I'm just trying to learn about crypto, and you get paid actually to watch little videos or read articles about crypto. You get like a couple bucks of different types of crypto each time you do it. There used to be more, I feel like, but maybe like once a month or once every other month one pops up for a few dollars. And so all this money that I've got in Coinbase is all from just watching those videos over time. So I went from $83 to $94, and that was an increase of $11. All right, so next, our HSA account. So we started out with $39.85, we ended with $38.05, and that was a decrease of $180. We do use this for medical expenses. I'm going to come back and talk about this account in just a second towards the end of the video, because yeah, I have been planning to use this money to pay off the Amex. Well, let me just circle back to this at that point that I get to the Amex and the liabilities section. All right, and then our cars, there was no change. I mean, there may have been, I don't really update it, but I do put our cars on here because if we decided to sell them, we would get cash for them, and used cars are worth a lot these days. So that stayed at $17,500. So we went from $582,674 to $590,064, and that was an increase of $7,390. We are getting close to $600,000 in assets. I'm excited to see that milestone. Next, for our liabilities, so our mortgage started out at $301,380 and ended at $300,867, and that was a decrease of $513. We do not pay anything extra on our mortgage because we're focusing on paying off our 2 student loans. So that's one reason. The other reason is we are planning to sell our house next year, and so there's not really any incentive to pay more on our mortgage at this point. So that $513 change was just from the regular mortgage payment we pay. Next, we've got my student loans, which started out at $182.44 and ended the month at $187.60, and that was a decrease of $1,724. And then my husband's student loan went from $83,890 to $83,254, and that was a decrease of $636. And then finally, my American Express was at $28.08 and went down to $27.38, which is a decrease of $70. For anyone who's new to my channel, what I did is I got Invisalign. I'm actually still doing it. I paid for it in full last year in 2021, and I paid for it by opening a new credit card and getting 0% interest. I am not a fan of credit card debt because we were in credit card debt for a long time, and I vow to never be in credit card debt again where we're paying interest, but this card had 0% interest for a year. So what I did is I just put the whole balance on the American Express card, and then I've just been using that card for gas and groceries over the last year and gotten a lot of cash back. So every month I've gotten between $70 and like $130 or more in cash back, because at the beginning there was like a big bonus for hitting a certain amount spent. So we got like $300, I think, in the first month. Anyway, this balance, without having paid any of our own money towards it, has gone from $4,200 down to $2,738 over the course of almost an entire year. And we have not paid 1 cent in interest towards this credit card because it has 0% interest. However, that rate is promotional, so that is ending on June 22nd. So in the month of April or May, probably April, I'm going to be paying off this card in full. I have been planning to use HSA money to do that, but one thing I was just thinking about is I might just use our emergency fund for now to pay it off, and then either build back up the emergency fund or take it out of the HSA later, because the HSA, once you take money out, you can't put it back in because it's like kind of like a retirement account. There's requirements to be able to contribute, and there's limits for the year and stuff like that. And we're not currently eligible to contribute to our HSA, and the HSA is a really great account because you don't pay taxes on the money that you put into it. It grows tax free, and you don't pay taxes on the money when you take it out. So I kind of hate to take that much money out of the HSA when we have it sitting in our emergency fund. And if we needed money for our emergency fund, I could access it from our HSA within a couple business days. So I'm debating about that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay it from our emergency fund now, and then if I want to take it out of our HSA at any point in the future, I can do that. So I think that's what I'm going to do in the month of April, and then make a decision later on if I'm going to take it from the HSA or not. So we started out the month with $570,562 in liabilities, and we ended the month with $567,619 in liabilities. And so that was a decrease of $2,943. So overall, this was a good net worth month for us. We increased our net worth by over $10,000. So we started out at $12,112, and we ended at $22,445, which is an increase of $10,333. Last year, we had set a goal to hit a positive net worth, and we did hit that by December, actually, just at the very, very end of the year. And this year, our goal is to get our net worth between $50,000 and $100,000. So right now, we're at $22,445. And you can see this line, which predicts the trajectory of our net worth over the next year, is now predicting that we are going to end the year at above 50,000. So in that range that we set for our goal for the year. So guys, that is it for this month's net worth update. As I mentioned before, if you want to track your own net worth, you can use Personal Capital like I do, or you can use this spreadsheet. Both are linked in the video description, and they are both free tools that you can use to track your net worth. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this from me and see if we're going to hit that 50,000 or 100,000 net worth by the end of the year, then hit that red subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.